let's jump into Seattle. I want to start with them. That's a team a lot of people have been very low on because how could you not? You lose Russell Wilson, you get rid of Bobby Wagner. There's the two best players of the last decade for the franchise. That's the quarterback of each side of the ball. But I honestly feel like people have been a little bit too disrespectful as to the way they're building with this rebuild. Because, hey, look, Pete Carroll, he's 69, 70 years old. He's, I mean, the fact, I want to, like, people said 2 years ago he's 68, and I honestly thought he was in his late 50s. I'll keep the buck with you. I never realized that he was actually getting up there in age. And Pete Carroll may not be here for the entire time of the rebuild. Who knows when it'll be finished. But the one thing that I really like with the Seahawks group is they're starting to build out this rushing game. I think if you're going to bring any young quarterback, you got to do it the right way, where you build the offensive line out. They go in the draft, they're drafting tackles, and more specifically, they're going all in on this running game. Chris Carson, he had a terrible neck injury where they basically put like a metal plate slash rod in his neck. I don't know if Chris Carson's going to play again in the NFL. To be quite honest with you, I mean, the neck is a terrifying thing, or put a metal in that through surgery. Yeah, I don't know if he'll be back this season. I'm pretty sure he'd be on the pup list. Um, to me, this is terrible. Moving on, they have Rashad Penny, who last season was phenomenal. Last 5 games, he had almost 700 yards. And mind you, we're going to talk about make or break players coming up. This was a player, former first round pick in 2018, where he did absolutely nothing his first 3 years in the NFL, or first two. And then out of nowhere, they signed Adrian Peterson to the practice squad, and Chris Carson's playing like a prime AP. That is the thing to look out for in this team. In the draft, they hit it hard. The tackle spots taking Charles Koss, Abraham Lucas as well on the second day, I believe, to play right tackle. They're trying to fill out the outside for this. Why give me that funny look?
Did you just say Chris Carson was playing like prime AP?
Talking about Rashad Penny. You just missed everything I said, didn't you?
No, no, no. You said, did you say somebody was playing like a prime AP?
Rashad Penny in the season is playing
Was
like a prime.
playing like a prime AP?
Yeah.
Okay,
Did you watch that
continue.
last season? He
No,
was
I
maybe the
just,
best, most
I,
explosive
I,
running
He
back in the
was
NFL.
killing it.
okay. I
Why
mean,
is that
I just
crazy?
think because AP is one of the greatest running backs of all time. But
I'm aware it's
no,
hyperbole.
okay,
That's number
okay.
one. Number two, Chris
Continue,
Carson,
continue. Go
not
ahead.
Chris Carson. Now you're mixing me up. Rashad Penny was phenomenal in last season. I don't know why you're acting like that's like,
I'm gonna read the stats to Brandon.
yeah.
On December 12th against the Texans, 16 rushes for 137 yards and 2 touchdowns. The week after against the Rams, only 39 yards. Against the Bears, 17 for 135 and a touchdown. The Detroit Lions, 25 rushes for 170 and 2 touchdowns. Against Arizona at the end of the season, 23 attempts, 190 rushing yards and a touchdown. Yeah.
What, like a three? That's 4 games. He played really great.
5. Pretty sure it was.
You
I think
had
it was
5 games off.
it was like the explosion to end the season. I could not have predicted that. And the Seahawks watched that and said, "Okay, we're going to take Kenneth Walker, the third. Kenneth Walker is a player in college, super productive. That's one of the top backs in this draft. You had the two of them. Whether or not Chris Carson comes back, this is one of the better young backfields in the NFL. And Rashad Penny, he's looking to prove himself. I think for him this year, if he can continue that, and you're continuing to build this offensive line, Charles Cross in the draft, they're building this team the right way to evaluate Drew Lock. I don't believe in Drew. He has moments though where I think this season he's gonna have 3 or 4 games where he plays super well. He's hitting DK Metcalf in some long balls. Tyler Lockett in Denver would have been the best receiver he would have had. Those are two top 15, top 20 receivers. You add in Noah Fant, who he worked with in Denver as well. I think whoever's under center, whether it's Gino or Drew Lock, they're going to have all the weapons and one of the best running games in the NFL to work with here. And when I say to myself, this team is building the right way, I say, okay, they don't have the franchise quarterback here, but I do think they're starting to build everything else. I don't think they're going to trade DK. I look at the squad and I say the offense is being built fully. Then you win 3 or 4 games this season, and you can draft a quarterback, whether you have to trade up to 1 or 2 to get him, or you can find him at 5 or 6. The Seahawks are heading in a really good direction, even after losing the best player in their franchise history.
I don't know. I'm not on the Seattle train, and I'm not gonna bump up their rebuild either. I just feel like when you lose a such an elite quarterback like that, you're bound for regression. I don't really see too many positives besides the fact that yeah, you do have two very good talents on the outside in Tyler Lockett and DK. But if you're going into the season and Drew Lock's not the guy, and you're gonna give me Geno Smith. We've seen what Geno Smith can do with that offense already. It's not impressive. That is a team that'll probably win 3 games if he's under center. So,
That's a good thing.
well, yeah, I guess so. It's a good
They're
thing because you're
rebuilding.
tanking, but they're in a position where I feel like they've had talks about trading DK. They've had talks about trading Tyler Lockett. If you're gonna go full rebuild, go full rebuild. Unless Drew Lock really turns out to be the guy. I mean, best that we've seen out of Drew Lock was what, his rookie season.
But that's not why they. Yeah, I mean, he won. I think he was undefeated that year. But to be
Yeah, he
clear,
was
this is
four and
what they
one.
got for Russell Wilson. It was not Drew Lock. It was a 2022 first round pick, 2023 first round pick, 2022 second, 2022 fifth, 2023 second, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, and Drew Lock. I think the package they got for him, given the fact he's 33 and they've done nothing to build around the last 3 years, that was pretty darn good because you were going nowhere with Russ, and it kind of came to this point where, dude, you gotta put this dude in a situation with a Super Bowl. If you can't do it, you should do the right thing, which is send him to a team that actually can. And
Mhm.
Denver was better prepared to win now. And I think for them, they get multiple first round picks. They go heavy in the draft. I think I said Abraham Lucas was a day 2 pick. I'm gonna double check their draft. One of you want to dive into their schedule because I think they're gonna lose a bunch of games, sure, but this rebuild is going a good spot, I think. There's a ton of talent on the offense. Defensively, you have Quandre Diggs and Jamal Adams, one of the best safety duos in the NFL. Say what you want about Jamal, he's one of the best safeties inside the box. Quandre Diggs is a great playmaker in the open. I mean, there's a lot to like here on this team, even if they're not going to be very good. They just need a franchise quarterback, and I think that's where people will really be excited to watch them play.
All right, you want to go into the schedule?
You jump
I
in.
have it. I have it in front of me.
Yep.
Week 1, in Seattle against Denver. Oh, jeez.
This is a hard one. I'll
Take
go
him
with
out.
Denver.
Russell Wilson coming home.
I think he's gonna smack them. I'll be honest with you. I see the Broncos winning that by like 3 scores.
I guess I'm gonna take your word for it. I'll have my FanDuel account ready come week 1. All right, week 2 at San Francisco.
Taking the Niners.
Brandon.
Niners.
Week
Not really.
3, week 3 at home against the Falcons.
I think the Seahawks win that game.
That's a close one. Week 4 at Detroit.
I
I
got
like
Detroit.
Detroit.
Yeah, man.
Week 5 at New Orleans.
New Orleans,
Week 6 against Arizona and Seattle.
Arizona,
Same. Week 7 at LA versus the Chargers.
Chargers.
This will be an interesting one.
Listen,
Week
man,
8.
they got.
What happened, Brandon?
I'm looking at the schedule. They have literally. I mean, you're going to keep going. They have 3 winnable games, and that's the Falcons, Giants, and Jets. Like every other game, they're going to take an L. So I see them being a 3
Maybe the
3
Panthers.
win team at best.
Should we even continue this?
I don't.
Yeah, they're gonna
I
win.
mean, if you
what,
look
4
at all
games?
those other teams, but
Yeah, it's
You
true.
guys
I don't
want
see
to.
them beating Arizona. I don't see them beating Tampa. I don't see them beating the Raiders, the Rams, or I already said the Niners, I believe. They have a game against the Chiefs and the Rams at the end of the season. No chance. I do believe the Jets are better than what people expect. So I don't even think they actually have a chance against the Jets.
Yeah, I think the ceiling for this team is 4 wins, honestly. And I think the floor is you win 2. I think 2 to 4 because their schedule is tougher. Like you said, the only winnable games to me: Jets, Carolina at home, the Giants week 8, and then the Lions and the Falcons weeks 3 and 4. That's 5 winnable games to me. The rest, I don't. Maybe they steal a game from Las Vegas, or even heck, the 49ers. What if Jimmy G goes down and Trey Lance has to start and he doesn't play well? But there's almost like no shot this team wins more than 5 games, just because by far not only the worst quarterback in your division, the worst quarterback in the NFL starting. Because Drew Lock, he has some good moments, like I said. I think there will be a few weeks, maybe against the Raiders, he and DK are hitting with each other, and they're able to upset the Raiders. But the totality of Drew Lock, even with the talent that he's getting around him, I don't trust. I've seen nothing to suggest in the NFL you can trust him. I think Pete Carroll will give him a fair look. Geno Smith was playing the best football of his career last year in the little opportunities he was given. So I say to myself, okay, I'm excited to see what the rest of this team. They drafted Boye Mafe in the second round, one of the best edge rushers in the draft. I think they had a pretty good draft. They were building well on the outside for the zone rushing attack. But even with the potential of the running game, the two receivers you have, the young tight end, you're maybe going to be starting two rookie tackles. And that's tough for any young team. You have the worst quarterback. The defense is losing Bobby Wagner, who was the blueprint of that for years. And it's just a new era in Seattle where they're not trying to win games. There's no incentive to try to make the playoffs because you're not going to be good enough. No matter what happens, there's a 0% chance this team is making the playoffs. I think if they're not the worst team in the NFC between them, the Giants, and what other team would be in that discussion? The Bears. Oh, the Bears. The Bears will be number one. They'll be the worst. I think Seattle and the Giants, they'll be right after them. So, I mean,
I,
yeah.
I think their best chance at an upset is Week 1 against the Broncos. Russ in
Really?
a new system. They're very familiar with him. I think that's their best opportunity.
Drew Lock revenge tour? Is that what you're going with?
Revenge game, not a whole tour, just one revenge game.